Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Okay, I know I said on like Wednesday or Thursday or whenever I did the last episode, oh, I'm gonna be off the next however long and I'm just gonna crank out a couple episodes. And then that was like several days ago, and this is my first one since then. Well, I got sick. Okay, so I don't know if you listened to the last episode or if you made it to the end or whatever. I had said that someone at my work tested positive for COVID, and I'd been off work because everyone that was working with them had to stop working and take a COVID test, and we couldn't go back until they tested negative. So my last time I worked was last, and there was a computer. I knew it was only a matter of time. Uh, that's part of the story I'm about to tell. So let's see. Look at that. I don't even know what day it is. Today is December 13th. Last day I worked was December 4th. I've been off since last Saturday, which was the 5th, and now it is the 13th. Sunday, the 13th at 3:09 a.m. So I've been off for quite a while. Um, so I did my COVID test on Monday. Hang on, let me get my phone again. Yeah, I'm on the computer. As you can tell by the sound, I'm doing this on the computer. I did my test on the 7th, and they just gave me they called me with my results today. Well, technically yesterday now, because they called Saturday at like 6 o'clock ish, which is much later than I thought they would. I figured they would call in the morning. They called at like 6 p.m. Saturday the 12th, and now it's Sunday. So I mean, it's technically today, but it's after midnight. It's 3:09, so it's yesterday. Anyway, my results were negative, and I one of my coworkers tonight, she and I have been checking in on each other like every day, see how we're doing. She tested negative too, so yay! She's my favorite coworker, so that was exciting. And but so I was so sure I was gonna test positive because about Thursday, like Wednesday or Thursday, I started feeling really bad. Like I had a fever and I had like a migraine and it's like disoriented and I didn't feel like doing anything. And I just laid down and watched stuff like YouTube and HBO Max, and I played some games on the Xbox. Um, Basically doing nothing. I just did not feel like doing anything, and I kept having neighbors knock and it's, stupid reasons. Like someone knocked and was like, "Hey, do you have any coffee filters?" I was like, "Why would I have any coffee filters? I don't even drink coffee here because I get coffee for free at work. Granted, I'm not at work, but I don't drink coffee unless I'm at work. I don't have a reason to drink coffee because I'm not doing anything. So I don't drink coffee here. Why would I have coffee filters?" But they kept bugging me about coffee filters, so when I got paid, I went to the store. Here's some coffee filters. When they wake up, I'm knocking the door like, "Hey, here is your coffee filters. Stop bugging me." It was uh, anyway. Another thing, I'm feeling a little better now. I still kind of meh. I think it was like a coincidental flu. It's like, oh no, I'm positive. They called me and I said I tested negative. I think I confused the nurse because I think I may have sounded disappointed. She said, "You're tested." She's like, she was very just cheerful. She was like, "You tested negative." I was like, "Oh," and she goes, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 that's great, yay!" Because I was confused. I'm like, I definitely test positive because I feel like I'm sick. I think it was just a coincidental like flu or something. But anyway, I I've been having issues with my computer and my TV. So, it's getting worse. Yesterday, I know that noise, it's because of one of the fans. It's got like 4 fans in there. It has a glass panel on the side so I can see inside. And it's the back fan. It's I don't know why it's doing that specifically. I looked. It's a Cyber Power PC computer, gaming computer. The company is called Cyber Power PC. Someone said that's redundant because I said Cyber Power PC computer. And they're like, PC is a computer. I'm like, it's the company name. But anyway, I looked. They have a subreddit, and I was browsing in there. At first I didn't post about it because I found a couple of post talking about it, saying, "Hey, my fan is doing this," and they had like a little video like making the exact same noise as mine was, and so are the comments. And they said the problem is that the fan is trying to spin faster than it's capable of spinning or whatever, and which I guess that makes sense. I'm more of I say I'm a tech geek. I'm more of like user interfaces and software and stuff. Like I can play around on the computer and figure out what to do. When it comes to the hardware stuff, I'm like, I'm a moron. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I'm just like, okay, makes sense, sounds good. But yesterday, I really got the evidence of that because I was forgot what I was on Steam, and I've had GTA Vice City for years. I just never gotten around to actually playing. So I opened it, and suddenly the fan spun like it spun so fast. It got so loud. Like I freaked out. I honestly thought the computer was going to explode. I like quickly closed out of Vice City, thinking maybe that's it. I just went like that, like really loud. It lasted about 30 seconds, and then it stopped, and I'm like, oh, that was scary. Not opening that again. So like, I don't know if it's because of the game or if it's because it's getting worse. It's really starting to freak me out. The thing with the TV is that now sometimes when I'm on the Xbox or on the on the Xbox input or the computer input, because there's 3 inputs, the third one is the Switch. Sometimes it gets the screen turns to static for a few seconds and then turns back, or the screen will go completely green and I'll have to unplug the HDMI and plug it back in. And that just started a couple days ago, and it happened a couple minutes ago before I started recording this. Oh wow, I've already been talking for 8 minutes. That went by really quick. Crap, I forgot what I forgot what this episode's supposed to be about. Like I literally just turned the computer on, and I quickly went to the audio director program and hit record. I didn't do any research at all. Disney Disney live action remakes. Yes, nailed it first try. I in the last episode I said there's 2 episodes I have planned, but I don't know what I want to do. One of them I know, and the other one I'm not sure. The one I'm not sure about, I still haven't figured it out. um, yeah. That one might. When they finally do the episode, I'll be like, this is the one. But this is when I said there was another one that I know for sure. This is the one. I actually haven't seen all of them. So actually, let's see. I can go to list. Yeah. Like I said, I literally just opened this up. I started turn the computer and open this up. I haven't even list of Disney live action remakes. Okay, And I'll pull up the Wikipedia, and I'll just read off of that. Not word for word, I'll just go down the list and say, hey, this one's good, that one sucks. I don't think, I don't know. It's still loading. It's what? Can't reach this page. It's a Bing search page. You can't load that? That would be hilarious if it said we do not recognize this page. It's a Bing search page. I'm using Microsoft Edge. That actually happened once. Not with this though. I was on Google.com on Chrome, and it says we cannot verify the security of this page or something like that. Oh, there we go. I only had to hit refresh 3 times. Let's see, Wikipedia. Let's see if it loads. I'm sure it will. I don't see why it wouldn't. Well, right, it's because it's this computer. List of Disney live-action remakes of animated films. Oh, there's more than I thought. Oh. That's because it goes back further than I thought. Oh, it's counting more than I thought. Okay, so I thought that the Disney live-action remake started with Alice in Wonderland. Actually, to be honest, I thought Cinderella was the first one. I didn't realize Alice in Wonderland was first. Anyway, apparently they're counting all the way back to 1994's The Jungle Book. I saw that as a kid and was bored to tears. I didn't like it. Of course, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I grew up watching the movie The Jungle Book. This was a movie. The animated Jungle Book, and yeah, the animated one bored me to tears too. I didn't like the Jungle Book. I didn't like the animated one. I didn't like the live action remake in '94. I didn't like the Jungle Book at all. There's nothing about the Jungle Book that I liked. Put a pin in that. 101 Dalmatians, 1996. Oh, I didn't know it was written by John Hughes. I was gonna say that changes everything, but not really, because I love that one. Actually, I'm confused here for a second. Let's see. Oh, never mind. 101 Dalmatians. I again haven't seen that since I was a kid. I love that one. Even as a kid, I like the fact that the animals didn't talk in the remake, because that would just be weird. I don't know. I love the way that they were able to still tell the same story without the animals talking. I don't know. I'm just weird. 102 Dalmatians, 2000. That one I saw a few times. And to be honest, I don't remember much about that one, except that it was... I don't remember much except for the introduction. That song at the beginning, that's all I remember. And I saw it a few times. Okay, Alice in Wonderland, 2010. Oh, I hated this one. Because I went in thinking, it was going to be a live action remake of Alice in Wonderland. But no, it's technically a live action sequel to Alice in Wonderland, because when she gets to Wonderland, first off, she's an adult in this one, and when she gets there, her adventure had already happened. They already knew her. Like, oh, Alice is back. It's like, wait, no, you're meeting this. Oh no, I see what they're doing. And no, they marketed it. They marketed it. I can't spoke. They made it seem like it was going to be the same story as the animated movie, but live action, and it wasn't. Not even close. So I didn't like it at the time. I have only seen it the one time. I don't know. I probably still wouldn't like it, or maybe I would like it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Minds change. I could watch it again now and be like, this is the greatest movie of all time. Okay, probably not that extreme, but you know what I mean. The next one is Maleficent, 2014. Yeah, that one I actually did. I refused to watch it until last year. I had never seen it, and then I finally watched it, and I was like, oh, I I I'm not sure what I think about it. I sometimes I like, if they add something new to the story, if they're gonna do like a retelling of a old classic story, or especially do like this is the villain side of the story, make it so that it's like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. It's not the way you thought. This is the true story. I wasn't growling at them. I was clearing my throat. That sort of thing. This completely changes the story, where, well, Maleficent, she curses Aurora. In the animated one, she curses Aurora, and no, she's evil the rest of the way. She's just evil. And then in this one, she curses Aurora, and then regrets it, and then she has a change of heart, and she wants to do the right thing and make it so that Aurora never touches the spindle. And then the prince kisses her, nothing happens. And then Maleficent kisses her, and she wakes up, and it's like, oh, because I love you as like a goddaughter or something or whatever. I don't know. It's like, no, you. There's a difference between the villain side of the story and just completely changing the story. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. I mean, granted, I didn't like Sleeping Beauty to begin with. So, um, yeah. Cinderella, 2015, is one I have not seen. But I was told by everyone that's seen it that I know, because I asked around a little before it was like, I knew I was going to do this episode. I kind of asked around because like I haven't seen this one. How is it? And they said it's okay. This is going off. I just hit the mic. This is going off of what several people have told me. It is a shot-for-shot remake of the animated one. Nothing was changed. Nothing was added. It was just the animated movie in live action, which, granted, some of the later films that I'm about to mention, they say the same thing about, and it's not true. But with this one, I actually believe it because I don't know. Like, I haven't seen anything about that makes me think that it's worth watching. I still want to see it just to say I saw it. That's that's literally the only reason I watched the Matrix sequels, is to say I saw them. I knew they were going to be bad, and they were right. They are bad, but I can say that I saw them. So it's me saying they're bad, not me saying that people say they're bad. That's kind of a weird reason to watch something, but hey, I'd rather have my own opinion than. See, I don't like the fact that I'm I'm using other people's opinions to judge this movie. I'd rather have seen it and say, oh, this movie actually isn't as bad as people say. And I did. I looked on Disney Plus. I was going to watch it, but they don't have it. It's like Disney themselves don't even like it, and I couldn't find it. When I saw that Disney Plus didn't have it, my first thought was, oh, that must be because some other site has the rights to it. And there's an app called Yideo, Yideo, and you can search for any title and it'll show you all the streaming services it's on, and everywhere you can rent it, like Google Play. Cinderella is only available on like Google Play for rent and like Amazon and Vudu and stuff like that. It's not on Netflix or Prime or anything, so I guess Disney don't want people to see this movie. So but again, like yeah. But again, I did try to watch it, but I couldn't find it. I'm not renting it. Now to the Jungle Book 2016. Remember when I said put a pin in the Jungle Book? And I said growing up I hated them. I didn't like the animated Jungle Book or the live action Jungle Book. So when they had this live action remake of the Jungle Book, I was like, oh no, another one. But then I watched it and I love it. It's the first time I actually liked the Jungle Book, and it might be I don't know what my favorite live action remake is, and I think it's between the Jungle Book and another one I'm get to here in a little bit. Alice Through the Looking Glass. Okay, funny story about this. I saw this movie. I know I saw this movie. I specifically remember seeing this movie. I don't remember anything about this movie. So, moving on. Beauty and the Beast, 2017. Okay, I actually really like this remake, and I've been criticized for that. Well, I'll say it's like it's not as bad as everyone says. It's not a shot-for-shot remake, like I said. And people were like, "Oh, yes, it is. You're, nah, whatever." But they changed it just enough that it improves the story, because I know this is like a cliche to say, but the original Beauty and the animated Beauty and the Beast from 1991, because you I've seen videos where people said, "Oh, the original Beauty and the Beast from 19 da da da, the old black and white one." No, the animated Beauty and the Beast from 1991. That one was Stockholm Syndrome, and there are actually I've actually seen like articles by like professional like therapists or whatever experts who say that yes, the Beauty and the Beast is Stockholm syndrome. I mean, heck, he one of the big things is he he gifts her a library. He's like, I have something to give you, and they take her into the he takes her into the library and says, "This is yours to have." He didn't give her the library. He granted her access to the library, which is a big difference. So that's a huge thing, and that's kind of creepy. And the way they changed that in the live action remake is, he's showing her the library, and she's like, "I love it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen." And he's like, "Really? Okay, it's yours." It's like a casual thing, like, oh, you like this? Okay, well then, it's yours, whatever. Like, it's like a subtle difference, but it's a big deal. It makes a big difference, and I don't know. It's the live action remake doesn't feel like Stockholm syndrome. It's more natural, I guess, and but it's not perfect, not at all. Like, uh, another example is in, I think it's the West Wing or the East Wing, the wing that has the rose in it. In the animated one, he tells her not to go to the West Wing. I was just gonna say West Wing. I don't remember which wing it was. I'll just say West Wing. He tells her not to go to the West Wing when she goes there, and you know he busts in. "I told you not to go on her," and then she runs from the castle, gets attacked by wolves. He saves her, all that. In this one, the objects, the people, the castle people, I think the candlestick and the clock, I forget their names, um, they tell her not to go to the West Wing. Oh, don't go to the West Wing. And then when he busts in, I told you not to. You didn't tell her not to go to the West Wing. Why are you freaking out? And then she runs off. And this is a problem I have with some remakes when they change things but keep the scenes the same. It's like in the animated version when she runs from the castle and is attacked by wolves. It's a natural progression. When it happens in the live action remake, it's more like, oh, it's time for the wolves to attack because this is what happened in the animated one. It doesn't make sense for this one because, like I said, the setup wasn't the same. So this scene only happened because it happened in the animated one, even though they changed the setup, completely changing what led to this, which doesn't make any sense at all. So, yeah, like, I like it. It's one of my favorites of the remakes, but like I said, it's not perfect. It has a lot of flaws that make it very non-perfect. Yeah, I still liked it though. And this one, this is on the list. I don't consider this a live-action remake, but I guess it makes sense. Christopher Robin is on the list, and this one, everyone loves this movie except for me. I watched it and I hated it. I love Ewan McGregor. He's amazing. I love Ewan McGregor and like everything he's ever been in. He's one of my favorite actors. I didn't like it. I didn't like what they did to the character because I get that like they're trying to portray he's an adult now. He forgot the whole being a kid and all of that, but they made him a total jerk. Like when he sees Winnie the Pooh, he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's really mean to Winnie the Pooh, and he's like, I don't know. It's like it's up until like the very end where he finally has that snap and he's get the mind of a kid again. It's like, oh yeah, let's have fun. And his kids, oh, they're very accepting. His little girl sees Winnie the Pooh and she screams and he's like, oh, I'm Winnie the Pooh, and she's like, oh, okay, and then she just goes with she's fine with it. I'm like, oh, that was quick. I thought there would be like this whole scene of her like having to get used to it, but she like immediately is fine with it, which I don't know. I didn't like the movie. It it was just the way like the character. I don't know. Like I said, like the characters were portrayed and stuff, especially Winnie the Pooh and the way like the daughter and all that. Like I don't know. Like but it's basically like the way the characters are treated. I like Ewan McGregor's acting. I like the Jim Cummings coming back and all the voice, like the animation. All of that is fine. It's just the way the characters were treated. I did not like that at all. Now, let me check see if it's still recording. Okay, good. See, I like audio director, the Cyberlink program that I've been using to record now on the computer. I can leave the app and browse the internet, and it still records. I don't have to. I still check anyway out of habit, but I don't have to. Anyway, back to this. Dumbo 2019. This one. I. Okay, I think I'm alone in this. I actually really like this one. And again, I've been criticized for liking this one. Like, oh, it's stupid. No, I like the fact. Okay, the whole point of doing if you're going to do a remake, do it different. Like with the Cinderella thing, it was just according to my friends, shot for shot remake. They didn't change anything. They didn't add anything. With Dumbo, it's like a completely different story. I mean, they kept some of the key scenes, but like like they tweaked it to fit the scene. It's like with Beauty and the Beast, I said like they oh, they changed the story, but they kept this scene in, but they didn't make sense. It's time for the wolves. Well, with Dumbo, they completely changed the story, and even though they kept some of the key scenes in, they changed the scene to fit the new story. Like whenever the purple elephant scene in the animated one, he gets drunk and he like passes out and dreams this sequence. And in the live action one, it's I don't really understand. I don't remember or understand what was going on. I think it was like a hologram show, or maybe he got drunk and saw that. I don't remember. I just remember it was still in there and it made sense because he didn't get drunk and pass out and saw it. I remember that. I think it was part of the show that they were watching, and it was like a hologram or he was hallucinating or something. But they left the scene in, but tweaked it to make it fit the new story. And yeah, and like adding the humans and like all of that, Danny DeVito. Okay, so Danny DeVito, I still see him as Louis. So when I see him in anything, even when he's like the main character, I still see. Oh, I don't know. I still see him as, like I said, as Louis from Taxi. And so like I saw like he came out like this businessman guy. I'm like, oh no, he's the villain. But no, he's one of the good guys. One thing I didn't like though is it's set in like the early 1900s or late 1800s, one of those. And okay, I get the whole animal rights thing. Like that's a newer thing. That's animal rights. Protecting the animals, treating them right. That's a newer concept, especially when it comes to circuses. The end of the movie, it's still in that time period, but they start treating the animals right, and or like Louis. I mean, Danny DeVito has like this. His has like the closing monologue where he talks about, no, we're going to start respecting the animals and treating them better, and we're not going to do this and that because animals are people too, or something. I don't. He didn't say that, but you know what I mean. I was like, okay, that's a good message, but it doesn't fit the time period. That's yeah. But like I said, I still like Dumbo. It was still a good movie. I liked it. Now, I said the Jungle Book was one of my favorites. My favorite of the live action remakes is between two films, and it's the Jungle Book and Aladdin. I really like Aladdin. I honestly didn't think I was gonna like it. I thought it. I actually saw it. Uh, oh, I'm looking at the release date. Oh, okay. So I'm remembering this as I'm saying it. Last summer, I went to San Francisco to spend time with my best friend. Um, my my birthday is May 25th, and I left May 25th on a plane to go to San Francisco. Aladdin came to theaters May 24th, 2019, and I went opening day with one of my friends here. I was I messaged him. I was like, I really want to see Aladdin before I go on this trip. Do you want to go? I'll pay for you. And so he and I went and saw Aladdin. Ow. And then what's funny is while I was on my San Francisco trip, I had a layover in Dallas for 2 days because I actually was going to a friend's wedding in Dallas. Well, not in Dallas. It's like she was getting married north of Dallas, like half hour north of Dallas. And so like the first part of my trip was I was going to spend 2 days in the Dallas area. I had a hotel and I went walking around the area and I got lost And I was walking to Walmart because I saw on the map there was a Walmart a couple blocks away, and I was like, I'll just go to Walmart. And I got lost, and I came across an AMC theater, which I'd never been to. I went there, and they were playing two movies, and it was really hard for me to choose between these two movies. They were playing Detective Pikachu, and the other movie was Detective Pikachu. That's right. They had two screens, and both of them were showing Detective Pikachu. And I was playing, I was messing with the girl behind the counter. I think she'd probably gotten this joke a lot, and she wasn't amused. I was like looking between the two, and I'm like, which to choose? And she just kind of rolled her eyes, and I was like, what the heck? I'll get Detective Pikachu. And so I watched it on accident. The funny story about that, though, is after the movie ended, which was great, by the way, I love that movie. I left the theater, and Walmart was across the street. It's like, oh, if I had just walked a little further, I would have found it. But because I got lost, I watched the movie. Anyway, but I digress. Back to Aladdin. I didn't think that I was gonna like it. I wanted to watch it. Just I don't remember why I wanted to watch it, but I did, and I'm glad I did because it was much better than I thought it was gonna be. They changed the story, but they changed it in a good way, kind of like with Dumbo, where you know, they changed things, but I can't think of any good examples. They changed the story, but changed scenes to make it fit the new story, and I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but there are things that I think they should have changed. Like, they. Because, like, it's Will Smith as the genie, and they didn't. I mean, they brought the Will Smith ishness to the character, kind of, but they were. You could tell they were still feeding off the Robin Williams genie. Like, they were doing, like the same. Oh, the same songs, obviously, because you got to have the same songs that we know, but they didn't Will Smithify them. It was the same songs. It's like have him rap or something, do something different instead of the same thing. I saw one of the reviews I saw was talking about that and how they like at the end, like during the end credits, they had like this like Bollywood style dance scene at the end, and they were like, that. Why wasn't the movie that? Like all of those, like all the musical scenes could have been that. And that was really nice scene where they, because it was set in like Saudi Arabia or something like that, like because it's Arabian Nights. It's Agrabah. It's set in like an Arab nation. They could have brought that into the movie instead of making it just what it was. I mean, still. Okay, so I guess I'm kind of proving something here. You can still something can still be your favorite, and you have criticisms about it. It's like Aladdin and Jungle Book were my favorite of the two. I didn't even talk about Jungle Book, like why I liked it. But anyway, with Aladdin, they could have brought the whole Bollywood thing to it, or like made it more Arabic, Arabian. I don't know which. When would it? Well, when you're talking, I don't know. I guess it depends on the time period you're talking about, because like when you're talking about biblical age, it's Israelite, but when you're talking about now, it's Israeli. So I guess if it was Aladdin, now it would be Arabic, and if it's set back then, it's Arabian. I don't know. Anyway, it was still good, but like with like my least favorite scene actually was the Prince Ali song, because that could have been, because it's supposed to be like a parade, like with the Robin Williams version. It was like the highlight of the movie because they went all out, and like Robin Williams was multiple characters. He's like every one of those characters in the crowd, like in the parade, and they just went all out. And that was one of the best scenes, and it was one of the weakest scenes in Aladdin because they were playing it safe, and like Will Smith was on the elephant directing all the others singing. And then what was that one scene where he was like, Prince, and he waited for the Sultan to raise his hand, and or like something like that. There was the beat, and I was like, what was that about? Uh, but I don't know. Like, I really liked it. It's one of my favorite of the remakes, but there are things they could have done differently. One of my favorite things about it is like with Princess Jasmine in the original, where that very cringeworthy hourglass scene where she gets stuck in there and Aladdin has to save her. It's like, oh, that's a cliche. And this one, they, gladly they left that part out where she didn't have to be saved. She actually took charge, which was great because I mean it makes sense. She was a princess. She was basically spent her whole life training to be sultan. So why wouldn't she take charge? See, that makes more sense. I like that. That was great. Now let's see something. The Lion King. That one, I I waited years for that. When they announced it, I was excited. I That was like my most anticipated live action remake. And I did go see that opening day. And okay, yes, I did like it. I like pretty much all. I like most of these. Like I don't think there's any other remakes that I like absolutely hate. Think of the worst movie ever. Even the Alice in Wonderland one. Like there's like I said, like I only saw it once when it first came out, and my opinion probably changed. I don't remember Through the Looking Glass, but I didn't hate them. Um, so with the Lion King, like I liked it. They did a lot of things right, but one of the biggest complaints is the realism. The fact that they went more for realism. That I love that the whole movie is all computer generated, but it looks real. Like you'll watch the whole thing and swear they just filmed actual locations and put CG animals in. That's great. They could have left the whole, like, left the scenery realistic, but gave the characters, character, because animals aren't very expressive. You go back and watch the original animated movie, and you can tell when characters are happy or sad or angry or scared or whatever. You can tell their emotion on their face because they're animated. They didn't do that with this because again, animals aren't very expressive. They could have made it realistic, but and still had the. I just had two email notifications pop up, and they could have kept the realism, but made expressive faces. It doesn't have to be like real life looking tigers and lions and all of that. Now, um, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I actually didn't realize that one was already out until a couple days ago. I knew it was. I know they had trailers for it out and everything. I just. I honestly didn't know it was already out until yesterday. I was browsing Disney Plus, just looking for something to watch, and I saw it there. And I thought it was the original Maleficent. I was like, oh, they got a new logo for it. Wait. Oh. I didn't watch it though. Um I actually wasn't thinking about this episode. I was thinking the I read the description and I'm like, that does not sound interesting. I didn't even like the first one. Why would I watch the second one? And then like now I'm sitting here recording and thinking, because I have an episode, I need to record, and now I can't talk about it. See, at least with the first one, like with the first Maleficent, I can talk about why I didn't like it, and for the second one, the only reason I don't like it is because I didn't like the first one. Who knows? Maybe the second one is amazing, the greatest movie ever made. Probably not, but I don't know. It didn't sound interesting at all, so I didn't watch it. I might see out of all of these movies, the only ones. Okay, I haven't seen Cinderella and I haven't seen Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I need to rewatch Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. But anyway, on to the Disney Plus release films, which there's been two. First one, Lady and the Tramp, which actually yawning. That one actually released with Disney Plus on launch day. In fact, on launch day, I think it was November 12th, 2019. It says release date November 12th, 2019. I'm assuming that's the day Disney Plus launched. I'm assuming that's the day Disney Plus launched. Anyway, they had this thing where you can pre-order. They called it pre-ordering the service. You basically just sign up, but you don't actually pay or do anything. You just have an account. And so on launch day, all you have to do is pay. And so I did. On launch day, I went. Actually, it was a 1 week trial that started with. I think maybe it was either a 1 week or a 1 month trial. Anyway, I did the trial, and as soon as I got that set up, installed on my Xbox and everything, literally the first thing I did was I knew they were releasing Lady and the Tramp. So literally the first thing I did was I looked up Lady and the Tramp, and I watched it. I knew that like Disney Plus, it was this massive streaming service with everything Disney on it. I knew there was going to be a ton I wanted to watch. So I went down the list and I looked to see what did I want to watch first. I had to have like an introductory thing, like to kind of like I don't know break in the service. So I installed it on my Xbox and I watched Lady and the Tramp. Then I browsed the site, and I like the original, but I don't know. I think I like the remake more. It's I don't know. I don't remember it though. Um, I saw it over a year ago in the middle of the night. I don't remember it that much. I just remember thinking it was better than the original, and I think one of the things with me was that it told the story better. I think, and I actually felt the emotions in the movie. Like I actually kind of got sad at certain parts, and I watched the animated one, and I'm like, that was kind of sad. I was like, watching because I don't know, seeing like actual dogs or I don't, they're CG, realistic looking dogs because they were most likely CG for most of it. I'm sure they had. I'm sure the dogs are real at certain scenes. I don't know. I didn't look at the behind the scenes thing. I know I like the movie, and then the most recent one, Mulan, which released September 4th, 2020. But we all know the story about that. It was $30. You had to have a Disney Plus subscription, but also pay an additional $30 to watch it. And they said on December 4th, we're going to make it available for everyone with a Disney Plus account. I decided to wait. I didn't want to support that because if that was a success and they made, oh no, hang on, I gotta turn my TV back on. I forgot my Xbox was on, and I think we've been through this before on a podcast episode where my TV turned off while I was recording. Because my Xbox turned off. Anyway, Where was I? Oh, if you know they made if because it's $30, if they made more that way than if they released it in theaters, they made $5 billion, for example, on that, they'd probably be like, this is the future. No, please don't support that. So I even posted on Facebook, nobody buy this movie. Wait for it to be available. I mean, yes, I know some people were saying like, no, yes, do it, buy it because support the people that put the work into the. No, they're gonna get paid. Um, I uh, I guess it didn't work the way they wanted it to because they announced that like all like kind of like Warner Brothers, they announced that like their entire 2021 lineup was releasing on HBO Max and the theater at the same day. So the same day Wonder Woman 1984 hits theaters is going to be released on HBO Max. That one I might see in theaters though. I haven't seen a movie in theaters. Okay, funny story about that. I went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog, and the next day is when everything got shut down. So I literally watched Sonic the Hedgehog the last day the theater was open. So that was lucky. Anyway, I might go see Mulan in theaters. I mean, not Mulan. Wonder Woman. Same thing. No. But I might see Wonder Woman 1984 in theaters because I love the first one. It's my favorite MCU movie. And I mean, crap, no. I just lost my nerd card. My DC Extended Universe card. Movie. Universe movie. Blah. Wonder Woman is my favorite DCEU film. There. Can I please have my nerd card back? I'm sorry I misspoke. And anyway, but yeah, like I guess the Mulan experiment didn't work out the way they wanted because they announced that like most of their upcoming films are going to be released on Disney Plus, with some exceptions. They still want to release Black Widow on and theaters. I I don't know why they wanted that one. That one, I mean, it's been so long. I mean, they've been holding on to that one for so long that they might as well just release it on Disney Plus. Like I want to see it, but I don't know if I would go to the theaters and see it. Um, I, I think I had. I think I didn't. I see it now. Oh, I forgot. This is the 20th episode, and I'm already forgetting what I've talked about in past episodes. I think I talked about my thoughts on theaters and the future of them and stuff. I think I did in my streaming service episode. But anyway, they have a list of upcoming theatrical films. Some of these. One of these has a release date. The rest is TBA. Okay, releasing May 28th, 2021, until it's postponed inevitably, is Cruella, which that one they've been talking about forever, and I don't know if it's actually going to be released because they've been talking about it for years. So I don't know. It's well, I mean, it's obvious in the title. It's a prequel to 101 Dalmatians. It's the story. It's basically Maleficent, but it's Cruella de Vil. And then the ones without a release date. This first one I'm excited about. The Little Mermaid. Uh, Haley Bailey. I think. Oh crap! I think that's her name. I haven't looked her up in a while. Haley Bailey. Eh? Halle Bailey. Ah, see. And it's confusing because her name is ridiculously close to Halle Berry, which at first when they announced her as Ariel, I thought they were casting Halle Berry. I was like, I thought Ariel's supposed to be 18. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Actually, I want to look up something. Actually, her first name is spelled the same way as Halle Berry, so that kind of made it more confusing. Unforgettable. Okay, so in this song, in this video, Halle Bailey sings "Unforgettable," which is an old Nat King Cole classic, and she has okay. So with Ariel, I feel like Ariel should have like a classical style, I guess, and she hits that. I'm gonna try to play. I don't know if my audio works right now. Oh, I gotta turn my TV up. Because I've been sharing this with everyone. I remember a lot of people were complaining when she was cast. Her hair's not red. Like, you think that's the most important thing about Ariel is that her hair is not red? I think the most important thing about Ariel is that she can sing. Unforgettable. That's what you are. Unforgettable. Though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Wish that I am unforgettable too. And yeah, she can sing. So she's going to be an awesome Ariel, and I honestly cannot wait until that movie is released. And I went to there's a bunch of upcoming films, theatrical films, because there's also a separate list of upcoming Disney Plus. I'm gonna get to that. After Little Mermaid, it's Untitled Jungle Book sequel, which I don't. Are they gonna do the live action version of the Jungle Book sequel? I didn't watch that, so I don't know what it's about. I just know a lot of people didn't like it. Untitled Lion King follow up. I'm guessing that's going to be Simba's Pride. I hope so. And they're gonna Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They are. That's. I don't know. They did like 2 live action remakes of that, and I don't actually. Now that I think about it, I don't know if those were Disney. There was Mirror Mirror and then Snow White and the Huntsman. And considering they weren't on the above list, I don't think those were Disney. I mean, they were. I think they were released the same year. I didn't see either of them. And then there's Untitled Aladdin sequel, which I'm guessing it's Untitled Aladdin sequel. I have an idea for I have an idea for the Aladdin sequel title. Return of Jafar. And they got The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which, okay, first off, that's going to be awesome in live action, because I think the last time there was a really good, okay, let's just say the last time there was a really good live action Hunchback of Notre Dame, it was starring Lon Chaney, and it was over 100 years ago, so, yeah. And then there's Rose Red, which is, it's Snow White. Wait, so they have 2 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movies coming out? Well, they're gonna remake it and then remake it. I don't know. And then they're going to do Bambi. Oh, I don't know. That one. Uh. Okay, so with The Lion King, one thing everyone was freaking out about, like before the movie came out, they're like, I don't want to watch Mufasa die again. It's hard to watch in animation. It's going to be even harder in live action. But no, that scene came and went in the live action. I was like, oh, that was cool. That was kind of sad. That wasn't child ruining like the other one was. So I don't know. Watching Bambi's mother die in live action, I don't know if I'm not getting my hopes up on that one. And the last one on this list, Hercules, which I can see that being a good one. That if they don't mess it up, oh, it's wait, okay, what's that list? It's being produced by Anthony and Joe Russo, so I have high hopes for that one now. Oh, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame one is being produced. One of the producers is Josh Gad, which, if you don't know, that is Olaf. So, yeah, I didn't know he was I didn't know he was a producer. Uh, Now on to the upcoming Disney Plus release live action films. There's okay, all of these are TBA, no release date. First one is Peter Pan and Wendy, and it actually already has a Wikipedia link. Let's see, what is it about? I mean, obviously it's I don't know if it's a remake of the movie or if it's like a spin-off of that or let's see. Peter Pan and Wendy is an upcoming American adventure fantasy film directed by David Lowry, and written by pop down and written by Lowry and Toby Halbrooks with Jim Whittaker and Joe Roth acting as producers. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures, the film is a live-action adaptation of 1953 animated Peter Pan itself based on a play. The film star blah blah blah. Development. What is it? What is it? Jude Law is going to be Captain Hook. Okay. And it looks like Tinkerbell is going to be Japanese. I think. Oh no. I thought it was a Japanese name, but I wasn't even close. Let's see. I can't pronounce her name, her parents' names, or her brother's name. But she's gonna be Tinkerbell. She starred in Blackish and Grownish. She was in Imagine That, Smallfoot. The Sun is also a star. Time included her on the 30 most influential teens of 2016. I've never even heard of her, so I'm living under a rock. I need to get out more. Actually, no, this is TV shows, so I should stay in more. I always stay in more. She starred with Eddie Murphy in Imagine That. Oh, that's the thing I mentioned. Oh wait, she also appeared in the Angelina Jolie film Salt, which I didn't watch. Okay, her credits: Alex Cross. I know Alex Cross. He's the James Patterson character. No Salt and Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. She was in the movie. Oh, it's upcoming. Okay. I was like, I didn't know they made a movie. It's because it hasn't come out yet. I don't know anything about Paw Patrol except it's puppies as cops. Anyway, that was Peter Pan and Wendy. Disney Plus only released films. After that, it's Pinocchio, which it's going to be directed by Robert Zemeckis, so this is going to be fun. The Sword and the Stone. Oh, I hope they turn it into like. I feel like they're gonna turn it into like a. I don't know. I was gonna say, like not Lord of the Rings, like a quest, like the tone. You know how after Lord of the Rings, those kind of movies got like a Lord of the Rings Skyrim feel to it. I hope Sword in the Stone. I hope it's not like because it's King Arthur and Merlin and Middle Ages and it's live action. I hope it's not bright and colorful and cheerful because I don't know. I think it'd be different if they make it kind of that tone. Oh no. Okay. So you know how? Oh no. Okay. I heard it said that every decade there's a King Arthur film and a Robin Hood film, and they both fail horrifically. And after Sword in the Stone, we have Robin Hood. But the difference is that the only Robin Hood, the I was gonna say the only Robin Hood I know that succeeded was the animated one, but then there's the Errol Flynn Robin Hood, and then there was Douglas Fairbanks. Those literally were 100 years ago. There's the Men in Tights, but that was satire. And then Untitled Aladdin spinoff. Wait, spinoff. Is Ginny getting his own movie? And then they have a live action Lilo and Stitch. Oh, and they have as possible projects a live action film about Tinkerbell. So I'm guessing that actress I was talking about is gonna have her own spinoff, like with Victoria Strauss writing the script and Reese Witherspoon playing Tinkerbell. Okay, so they're gonna toss out that actress that I was talking about. They don't even know if she's gonna be a good Tinkerbell. Uh, I think if they're gonna do a spin-off with Tinkerbell, they should use the one that they're using in their other Peter Pan movie. It was also reported that a live-action spin-off of Prince Charming titled Charming is in development. A prequel to Aladdin named Genie's. Uh, okay, some of these I don't even. I can't even. Let's see, let's go down. And then there's the performances, critical reception. I don't care about those. Alright, list of Walt Disney animated studio films. Alright, let's go down. Oh, wait, no. Wait. List of Walt Disney Pictures films. There we go. From the 1930s to the 2020s. Here we go. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. It's like part 1 of 20. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this here. Actually, when I was gonna say this at the beginning, but I forgot. I was talking about in 2 episodes back that now I'm gonna be working harder to get the videos working better, looking better, so it's not just a logo slapped onto the audio. But if you saw the last video, of the last video was posted like a full 24 hours after the episode went live on every platform, and it's because it was a lot of work, a lot more than I thought, and then, which I don't mind. It gave me something to do because, like I said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not at work right now because of the whole COVID thing, so it gave me something to do, but the downside is I don't know how this happened in the project. Like when I open up Power Director and I go to the project and I play certain parts, like certain things were supposed to happen at certain times. Like basically, the video and audio aren't synced up, and I don't know how that happened. And so, like, there's a part where, like, the part where, like, I was talking about Princess Diana and Mother Teresa, and I said, and Mother Teresa died when and then it cuts off. I had the slide up of that the text I was reading, and then I put this effect where it like glitches out, and I had to do that the second my audio cut out, but for some, it does that in the project. And when I open Power Director, it does it at the right time. But for some reason, when I saved it and did hit produce, it and then it the glitch effect happens like 5 to 10 seconds before the audio cuts out, and the entire video is like that. I don't know why. So for now, I'm just gonna stick with the logo and audio because that was really frustrating when I saw that. I literally I sat there for a few minutes and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna leave it. I don't even care because it took like half an hour to save, and I didn't want to find what the problem was, tweak it, save it again, and I'll leave it. I'll upload it. I don't even care. No one watches them anyway. Literally, all of them have 0 views, and it still has 0 views now. I just looked before on my phone before I started recording. So for now, and with that, I basically the entire video is every slide I talked about. I had something going on at all times, and so I won't. I'll just have for now. I'll just have. I don't want to mess with it. I'll just have the logo and audio for now. I'll still have the animated logo at the beginning and at the end, but during the middle section where I'm actually talking, I'll just put the logo because I don't even want to mess with that right now. Like, I don't know what caused it, but this